What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle from the crib. Nadeska, Akademiks, and Wayno here. Personally, for me, it felt like we've been on quarantine for 6 months already. I'm starting to go nuts, and I'm starting to feel like Akademiks on a Monday. Like, I definitely held us up this morning. I was struggling. My bad, y'all. What's good?
I can't hear Akademiks.
I can't hear you.
Oh, my bad. I was muted. See? But I was really trying to say you kind of hold us up every day because you're technologically challenged.
Every day, Akademiks, we talked about this last week. It's been you and I just got some AirPods, finally, some new ones because my last ones broke, but they wouldn't connect to this old-ass complex laptop. Whatever. I tried.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the headphone look. Trust me.
I don't know if it looks great on
I don't know if you want to stay with the whole gamer look. You know what I mean?
Yo, y'all can't look too good while doing the fucking show y'all living in.
None of us look too good, Akademiks.
Like, come on. Your light looks a little bit better today. I do think so.
Thank you. I closed all the windows in the apartment. I'm trying. Slowly, we're getting there.
Right.
Okay. I know there's a lot of natural light you have to deal with in the mansion. There's a lot of windows. But you're doing better today.
The mansion. What'd you guys do this weekend?
Same thing I did the weekend before. I really didn't do nothing. I just been watching a lot of TV, reading a few books. Not much for real. It's like, I feel like I'm stuck in like the Twilight Zone right now. Like this shit is like the same day every day. It kind of got to me. Like I went outside a few times, but I didn't really go anywhere. I just like sat in the car and then drove a little bit and came right back home, trying to find reasons to go to the supermarket even when I don't need to. You know.
Yeah, I said this before. I think mentally this is what's going to be the result of the quarantine. Like, you're going to kind of I feel like we're naturally going to get a little bit depressed because it feels like you're living the same day over and over again. You get me? Again, you don't have those little nuances of your day to kind of make it feel different. But for me, I just watch different things on Netflix. You know, like the highlight is playing with my snake, you know, no pun intended, nothing like that. You know. Now, I'm talking about my actual pet, my pet snake. And other than that,
you finally got him some crickets, Zach?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's doing great. But other than that, you know, kind of like just checking up on family, you know, making sure everybody's okay. And, you know, I'm like one of the people who was Googling news to see, like, what's the future? Because, you know, like, how long could we really sustain in this? And, like, what's life afterwards? So. You know?
Yeah, I know they say that you should try to limit how much news you consume every day, and I've really, really been trying, especially not to do it right before bed in the morning, but I can't help it now, and it's giving me just sort of terrible and extremely random nightmares. I was telling them about some in the group chat this weekend. I had a nightmare that you guys went to LA on a coronavirus plane to talk to Russ in the jungle because he got arrested. This dream made no sense at all. I'm going nuts.
No, that's the weed you're smoking, man. You know, I can imagine listen, the weed with the little funky names, now is the time for them shits to like really prosper because truth be told, I can imagine the dispensaries, are those considered like essential?
Akademiks, there are no dispensaries in New York. It's not legal here. Right. That's in California, my friend. So my dream made absolutely no sense, but thank you anyway for your deep read.
Well, listen, man, your weed man might have corona because the shit you were smoking got you talking all type of bullshit.
All right, so as we expected, 6ix9ine got out of prison last week. He's currently at home on supervised release. So he's supposed to serve the last 4 months of his sentence from the crib. Only can leave from medical treatment or to talk to his lawyer if the probation department approves it. So he's also reportedly allowed to release music. According to his lawyer, he's actually dropping a Spanish and English album soon. He can use social media, but he's not allowed to troll, but I'm not sure how they're supposed to enforce that. So one of his first appearances on Instagram was on a Shade Room post. So the caption on that Shade Room post said, "The Los Angeles mayor is offering rewards for snitching on businesses violating the city's stay-at-home order." He hopped in the comments and wrote, "Coming to the rescue." How is he gonna not troll? How are they gonna enforce this act? Have you spoken to him?
Hey, surprisingly, I've not spoken to him since he got released, and I do believe he has. I think
he switched up on act already. Switched up on Akademiks already. Look at that.
Oh man, I ain't gonna lie. If I don't talk to him by the end of this week, that means he probably told on me too. You know, I'm playing. No, on some real though, like, I do think I would imagine, right? Any conversation I've had with him when he was locked up, he couldn't wait till he wasn't, incarcerated anymore. I could imagine he's trying to take the proper precautions to make sure that he's not going to get in a situation where he's either going to violate the order of him being released. You get me? Which, of course, trolling seems to be his thing. And, again, whether you want to call it joking around or trolling, I think there's a fine line between being like beef and trolling and just trying to be funny. You know, like, hey, people are calling you a snitch, they're calling you a rat. What you gonna do? You know, I feel like him trying to play off of that is kind of showing that he has a sense of humor, but also kind of forecasts how he's probably gonna, you know, look back at everything he's been through. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think that's kind of interesting.
So he's gonna 8 Mile himself is basically what you're saying. Like, he's gonna embrace the snitching shit.
I think you kind of have to a bit. Like, what are you gonna do? Have it be the dark horse where somebody says it and you're like, oh my god, all right, conversation over. I feel like he's gonna say it enough. Here's the interesting thing about it, like the reception. That's the first thing he said, right? Or like commented or anything, right? The reception since he has been out and he said that is that people's like, yeah, we don't even care that he snitched. Like, again, I'm talking about the masses. I'm not talking about, you know, like the super thug on the block guys. You get me? But those people are like, we're just kind of glad he's back, which I think that's more interesting than anything else.
So the Akademiks basically saying the super thug on the blocks don't matter. You know what I mean? Those ain't the people who matter.
Hey, I always told y'all that it was a vocal minority saying that he would have a hard time in hip-hop. And during this quarantine time, I think niggas are choosing entertainment over morals or whatever the fuck they claim they care about.
Well, I don't really, you know, personally, I don't care for 6ix9ine as an artist, you know, but what needs to happen is he needs to just get out here and just show these kids that he was just lying and how dangerous it is to play with that type of fire. You know, I don't really care for him at all, but what I do hope he does is to tell the kids that you shouldn't walk down that line and how dangerous that walking that line was. You know, more than that, I don't know what else he could do morally, right? But that's it. Like, I don't care for his music, but you the same message that you put out there, like he was a gangster and all that, you need to put out there that you never was really with that to begin with, if that's how you really feel.
That's interesting. I mean, I think a few weeks ago we spoke about what he might do when he comes out of jail. Clearly, he still has a sense of humor, but we talked about a bit of a rebrand. Can you see that kind of rebrand for him?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I do think if he doesn't come out and, you know, a little bit, you know, everything he wrote in those you know, very emotional or begging letters to the judge saying, hey, listen, I'm not a bad guy, give me time served. Hey, listen, I was caught up in a lot of bad things. Also, I'm a role model. Yo, I hate when people use that role model thing when convenient, and then when they're back in the position of power, they almost say, yo, fuck that role model shit, I'm gonna do what I want. I do think he has to take the opportunity to, just like I've said about Meek and Meek getting the preferential treatment from the legal system. No. The point I'm trying to make, right? Like, it's not about. I'm saying entertainers, whether we want to believe it or not. One of the big reasons 6ix9ine's getting out is that 6ix9ine's a very famous and rich motherfucker. One of the big reasons that Meek got out of jail early while he was on probation, even though it was
really,
a bad
I thought
judge.
This was just because of the coronavirus and asthma.
Yeah, but that's not happening across the board. Like, the nigga wrote like 8 letters, they queried the BOP. Like, what I'm saying is that because of the resources that some of these people have, also I'm including 21 Savage with his immigration stuff. I'm just saying, when you see people who are rappers who are powerful and rich, they have a lot more resources than the regular person. And when you do get out of whatever situation, you do owe it to other people to either be a better example. In 6ix9ine case, I do think he has to be a better example. In Meek's case, I feel like he got to hold a flag for prison reform, just like I believe in 21
But I think
Savage's
what's
case,
different between those people that you mentioned is when 21 and Meek had their issues, I think other people tried to reach out on their behalf to help them out, other powerful artists who are not incarcerated. I don't know if anyone was reaching out to help 6ix9ine.
No, the thing is that
that's true too.
Listen, he's gotten out because his information has gotten him out. This is just a small stipulation as to get him out a few months earlier because of this coronavirus shit. If this wasn't happening, we would not be having the same conversations. All I'm saying is that for the line he walked and all the shit everything he did, he does owe it to them kids, but I don't care for it. You know what I mean? He owes it to them kids to say, I'm not a gangster, I never was, I led y'all astray, here's my music that's not gangster at all.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll come in that form, but it has to be something where you basically tell the kids that, hey, listen, be careful if you're gonna go down the path that I did. You get me? Again, this is just social responsibility of artists, especially when y'all are afforded the luxuries of. Again, I'm telling you, most niggas is not getting out. I'm telling you, if y'all think everybody with asthma is getting out, y'all
no, it's not everyone, but they are releasing some prisoners in the facilities where like coronavirus has unfortunately already hit really hard, you know. Or YNW Melly has it too, no? He also tested positive.
Yeah, and
it's getting bad.
And I don't think he's gonna get released at all. Truth be told, even
he
with
rich.
You know,
he rich. He's not an informant. That's why he ain't getting out. But that's a whole other story. That we already know the ending.
That's a little bit different. It's a double murder, but yeah.
Right.
All right, you know what? Well, on a lighter note, I think we've all been enjoying these battles. Last week we talked a lot about Scott Storch and Manny Fresh. And a few days ago, T-Pain and Lil Jon went at it. So they did a 20-song battle. Over 200,000 people tuned in for that one. It was a lot of fun. There was a slightly awkward moment when T-Pain played an R. Kelly song, but that's whatever. Did you guys enjoy this one?
I mean, this one was cool, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of over these battles, bro. Like
okay, all right. I take back everything I just said about excited and
enjoying
these.
No, I was excited for this one. I mean, the Scott Storch, Manny Fresh. Of course, the songwriter battles have been dope. But it's kind of getting a little bit redundant because now I'm seeing shit like Pleasure P versus Bobby Valentino. You know what I mean? Now I'm seeing like it's getting a little bit too left. So it's like it's only gonna breed more people battling. That not saying that I don't care for Pleasure P or Bobby V's music, but I don't think that their music is at a level where they need to have a battle. So I just think the shit is getting a little bit out of hand. But this one was cool. I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of surprising to see all the shit that T-Pain actually worked on.
All right.
Yeah, I know for me, like, now I enjoy these battles. You know, of course, we're getting some of the battles that we're not asking for. Like, all of a sudden, randomly, I seen, like, oh, Rich the Kid and A Boogie, and I was like, wait. Like, who? Like, wait, hold up. You know, that was just, like, super random to me. And then it was like, no, it's Rich the Kid and Trippy. And I'm like, listen, man, salute to, you know, the new generation artists. A lot of people know I wave the flag for a lot of them. You know, I champion them when, you know, a lot of people kind of ignore their contribution. But still, like, yeah, chill out, okay? Wait till the coronavirus of like 2030 for you to, and if you're even relevant then to even do that. But yeah, you're right to some extent. Some we don't care about. I will say about Lil Jon and T-Pain, I do think that was dope and interesting because both of those individuals like mark different time periods and for different reasons. They're significant figures in hip hop, and why I do like those again. The mood with them wasn't like, you know, I think the mood with like Tory and French a little bit was like, yo, we're gonna get each other, you know, and all these are all in good fun, but I do think for that battle was like, yo, let's just remind you, because again, T-Pain has came up on the show as one of the people who felt underappreciated, maybe didn't get his flowers a bit, and you know, I think this definitely helps remind us. And also, Lil Jon, you've been DJing in Vegas for so long, like we actually forget that, yo, Lil Jon had a run.
I mean, and he produced a lot of that music, yeah. You know what I would love to see, though? I want to see an actual battle. I want to see two people actually rap battle on live or rap battle on Zoom or some shit like that, and then put up a poll and let the people determine who wins. I think that would be entertaining as well, but the only problem is like, rap battling, there's nobody to buffer somebody from stopping from keep on going. But I think that would be dope, you know, to see an actual rap battle.
Let's see if anyone is brave enough to do it. A lot of rappers don't like rapping these days. But how about this one? Speaking of the legends, of course, like, the catalogs are crazy. So one fan suggested that he thinks artists from the South like T.I., Jeezy, Future, and 2 Chainz could beat anyone in a song battle. So 2 Chainz reposted, and he agreed, saying, you know, no one wants smoke with our city. Tip and Luda had the game going crazy. Then Gucci and Jeezy, then me and Future, now QC and YSL. And he said they all have more than 20 bangers. So who wants smoke? Snoop hopped in the comments and accepted the challenge for the West. And then 2 Chainz posted a video calling out Meek Mill. He thinks him and Meek would be a good matchup. This is one we would want to watch, right?
Nah, I think so.
No.
Listen, I love Chainz, but I feel like even with the whole Atlanta shit, I feel like New York fits in there as well. I mean, people forget that like while New York might not have 10 artists that's on the same level, Nicki Minaj ran it for 10 years, you know, with a lot of her records. See, Cardi B, what she doing now? Bodak Yellow is arguably one of the biggest songs in the past 5, if not 10.
So we're seeing a New York versus Atlanta battle?
Nah, I ain't say all that. What I'm saying, but what I'm saying is that I feel like everybody has a right. You know what I mean? Everybody has a right. Everybody's region has enough to compete, but I just don't think that we all need to compete at this level right now.
Wayno's over these battles. He's really over it. He's trying to be diplomatic now. Ike, what do you think?
Listen, I had to sleep on this one because I was very public yesterday on social media, kind of like even playing out some of these. And I did repost what 2 Chainz said. I think he's very self-aware in where he's at. You know, he mentioned Fabulous, but he said Fab got a lot of girl songs, so then he went the Meek route. At first, I said Meek, but I had to sleep on it because I knew I was going to come on here, and of course, Wayno's DC chain was going to bulge out over his goddamn hoodie. So I'm like, you know what? Let me really think about this. And I do have to say, when we're thinking about battles, and especially like a battle like this, it's all about the angle. Because if we literally, like, I went through 2 Chainz discography and shit, maybe I even been sleeping on it a little bit. If it's straight up club bangers, Billboard hits type of more recognizable songs, 2 Chainz probably got it. And by the way, 2 Chainz, you know, Titty Boy, I apologize because I remember I wrote up a post, like, really kind of playing out, saying Meek is going to watch him. I don't think so. Here's the thing. This is where Meek is going to win when it comes to a lot of battles with any quote-unquote street rappers, is that he has certain joints that aren't really hits.
He got anthems.
Okay. No, all right, well, some of them, but he has certain, like, cuts that, to keep it real, like 1942 isn't a hit, but 1942 to me is a top. He has to play that in the top 20. It's gonna ring off. He has songs like Burn. He has songs.
Yeah, you got
Burn,
Boss,
House Party.
You got House Party. He got a lot of bangers, yo. Racked Up Shorty.
Intros
He got a lot of drinks. Like, even off his mixtapes, he got a lot of shit he could compete with.
Hold on, intro's gonna work well, right? All brilliant and all good, but and if you think about it too, like, it's gonna be songs like motherfucking like Tony's Story, which again aren't hits. Here's the thing, where that's what I'm saying. It's all about the criteria. Because if we're just talking straight hits in terms of like songs that were successful, recognizable, maybe not as much had an impact on the streets as some of Meek's songs, but just hits, 2 Chainz is gonna wipe him up. I'm gonna tell you why. Look at the features, like whether we're talking about 2 Chainz being featured on some of the good music stuff, we saw that run. Whether it's 2 Chainz and Wayne, they have a great chemistry. Shit, they like put out an album together. Whether it's a 2 Chainz with Drake,
it's a lot of Meek and Ross. It's a lot of Amen. So we're not gonna throw Amen in there too with Drake and Meek.
Listen. Trust me, I got my facts like open, so it's not like I'm glad I'm at home today because I got a front like I got everything in my mind. I got everything actually written down. If we really look at it, yo, he just has like we could name songs that aren't even his songs. You get me? First of all, he got multiple songs with Drake. Again, whether it's songs like Mercy, whether it's Champion, and just on a feature level, he's featured on bigger songs. That's a fact.
Yeah,
than Drake. No, not Drake. Than Meek.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Whether it's Bees in the Trap, whether it's Bands Make Her Dance, come on, like, what are we gonna do? Fucking Problems? Like, again, 2 Chainz has a little bit of what French has in terms of why French beat Tory Lanez. That ability, yo, those features are nasty, man. Like R.I.P. He's always.
I just don't want us to sleep that. I don't want us to sleep on the fact that while we may not think about it from a Billboard standpoint, Meek got a lot of like anthems and a lot of great hip hop moments. If not just, he might not have the same amount, but he has tons of great hip hop moments. Like, for everything you just said, I don't think Chainz has one that is over in the intro. Like, he doesn't have one that's over the intro.
All right, cool. And in the same sense, like, maybe not the intro level, but Duffel Bag Boys. Again, with the catalog that stretches all the way back there. So that's why I say, you know, it's about how you kind of judge it. And it would be a very interesting battle because it depends on how, like, first of all, I don't think Meek could beat him just going mainstream hit for hit. You feel me? I think Meek really got to get down there with it, but I think it'll be super interesting. You know, the only way which I'm gonna kind of still stick to my original opinion that Meek would probably still win is because 2 Chainz said street. He said street. So when we think of street, and Wayno's definitely want to say this, when you think of street, we don't necessarily attribute all the street quote-unquote hits as Billboard hits. When you say street, the intro gonna mean a lot more than some shit that was having all the thoughts shaking their ass in the club for like 6 months.
But the intro make that shake their ass in the club still to this day, and the shit is like 9 years old now. Like, you know, but I feel you though. I feel you.
Well, let's see if Meek accepts. Then you could debate some more. All right, so I guess we're not going to talk. If this battle happens, we'll talk about it. Otherwise, I guess we're done, right? Wayno's had enough of these battles. So let's see what happens with Meek and 2 Chainz. Let's do a couple new songs before we go for today's segment, Hit Brick or Wait on It. Of course, we're going to start with Drake. He dropped his 3rd solo release of the year, Toosie Slide, along with a music video. And then Lil Baby said he was actually supposed to be on the record, but he didn't send the verse. I'm going to start with Wayno, Hit Brick or Wait on It.
Come on, yo. All right, look.
I don't want to start with his eyes start to twinkle and shit.
I start. All right. It's Drake, right? So default is gonna be a hit. Is this song good? No, the song is not good. It's not a good song. Like I feel like for Drake at the level of where Drake is at, he shouldn't be making songs like this. I don't think he should be making.
What if he was
like
just aiming for a TikTok challenge? Then did it fulfill that requirement?
But that's the thing. Drake is not a TikTok challenge artist to me. Like I just, when we talk about all the artists that we compare him to, I just don't see any of them making this type of move at all. And it's not no deep dive on it. I just don't like the song. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see Drake left foot, right foot up, sliding and all that. And then not only that, Drake. I'm just not a big fan of hearing Drake rapping about street shit. You know what I mean? Talking about sliding in the streets. Now, I just accept Drake how I met Drake for making the music that he always made. Whether it was just, and he could rap. He could rap and say mad clever shit without going that route. But it's just like now, I just don't get the angle with that. And that's cool. Like, that don't make him whack by no means. None of that shit. I just don't like the Drake talking about he gonna slide on niggas, spinning niggas blocks. If he ain't do it, he gonna send somebody else to do it. If he ain't do it, Chubb's gonna do it for him. That's not the Drake I like. So yeah, it's a hit. It's a hit, but I ain't fucking with the song.
All right, back.
Wayno. I actually fucking agree with you. Listen, this is absolutely a hit. Absolutely a hit. I looked at the numbers. I mean, shit, 12 million views in pretty much 2 days on YouTube. Right. 12 million plays on Spotify in a day. Ridiculous numbers, but it's up the Drake level. That's the Midas touch. It's a hit. I will say the snippet sounded better than the song, and I disagree with you on one thing. I don't think Drake is above making songs that work on TikTok. I do think, you know, of course, it's a little bit forced in trying to make it a TikTok thing, because most things, like even with the Kiki Do You Love Me, the In My Feelings joint, I felt like Shiggy adopted that after it came out, and then it went. And, you know, I think we're used to seeing more of a organic, type of movement in terms of songs. But, like, I understand with him trying to, get one and especially capitalize on the TikTok movement. Here where I do agree with you, though. The song sounded dope as a snippet, and I seen the dance, and I thought that was cool. The last dance song we kind of saw was possibly, at least I was really paying attention to, was the Futsal Shuffle. I just thought it was too complicated. That shit looked like it was Dance Dance Revolution in 2090. You get me? I don't like the fact that Drake was trying to make a simple dance song, which I wanted him to do, but then he had these undertones of straight shit in it. I didn't like it at all. I'm like, yo, bro, this song's for the kids. It's for TikTok. Let's not turn a left foot slide into you sliding down the block. You get me? Like, and for me, like, it feels like, like I remember when he did Hold On We're Going Home, which, like, again, not like a dance song, but like it's a pretty innocent song. Like Hotline Bling is a pretty innocent song. I just can't imagine having a double meaning to Hotline Bling as in like shooting up the club.
When they hit the hotline, that's when he calling on niggas and all that.
Yeah, I feel like Drake, slowly. And by the way, again, I'm a fan over anything. I feel like Drake is transitioning into this period of his career where like, like the new motivation is him telling you how big of a mob boss he is. You get me? Because he's that rich. And again, for someone who really fell in love with his music, not because like I like when Drake when niggas was saying he was the corny nigga. You feel me?
Me too. That's why I like him because he was my fault, but he was. And please don't forget your dog because I want to hear it. But he was the guy who was like, he was unconventional. Why he wasn't the street nigga? He could rap with every street nigga there was. That's what I want to hear from Drake. That type of Drake.
Yeah, like he was vulnerable, and as he evolved, I'm not saying he has to completely stay that way, but like I feel like I'm hearing a lot of overcompensating now, like where because I do think he shed that corniness or cringiness to some extent. I think now is more about him telling us how whatever he like on some bullshit. And I'm like, man, not on this song. Like this felt like he was trying to make a Mob Tie song while he was doing it on a TikTok left foot. Nah, come on, let's not do that. So, that's my one critique, but we'll see. I would love to hear more of the music that's coming on the album.
Very interesting critique. All right, guys, thank you. We're not actually going to have time to do more songs for Hit Brick or Wait on It because we have to go, but it's okay. We're here all week so we can finish the rest of these songs tomorrow. I'm not even going to give you guys, especially final thoughts because we know how long that's going to go. Thank you guys for watching. Send us some fan questions on Twitter at EverydayStrug with 2 G's, and we'll see you here tomorrow.